Today on Monkey Life, Alison's in Devon to collect Neva, a possible love match for the park's solitary male Saki monkey who's lost his longtime partner.
I suspect that there'll be a lot of flirting from the minute she walks into the house.
There's an overnight surprise for staff at the Woolly Monkey House.
We had an unexpected arrival. We've named him Lloyd, so we've got a little boy, and Mum is Ingu.
And, despite the offer of treats, Bengal slow loris Bobby opts for a duvet day. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Anything could happen. You really have to have an open mind.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. Alison's arrived at Combe Martin Wildlife Park in North Devon, just a few miles from the coast. After a search lasting months, she's come to collect a female Saki monkey, in the hope she'll become a partner for Desmond, the park's male.
They've got a young female that was born here called Neva, and she's living with her family still. I think there might be 5 of them in the group. And Mom has just given birth about 6 weeks ago, so she's had the chance to see her mum looking after what's her younger sibling, and it's time for her to graduate and come meet Desmond, so hopefully they'll get on.
Alison is meeting up with the Wildlife Park's head keeper, Louisa.
Hi, I'm Alison. Pleasure. You could work at Monkey World. Everybody wears shorts year round. Yeah.
Are you guys wanting to head down and see Neva?
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Set in 28 acres, Combe Martin Wildlife Park is home to a variety of animals and birds, including a number of primates. Their family of 5 Saki monkeys is well established and includes a new baby girl just a few months old. Big sister Neva is 6 and soon to reach sexual maturity. Now is the ideal time for her to move on and meet a male partner, as she would in the wild. Hopefully, she'll take a liking to Desmond.
Hi, you guys. Neva.
Some of the group are in their outside enclosure.
Hello, mister. Wow.
And they seem to be enjoying themselves.
Oh, you?
I know. So Neva's a lovely individual. She's a really sweet-hearted Saki monkey. She's kind. She's got a bouncy, energetic side to her, though. But although she still plays a lot with her family, we've started to notice that she's spending a lot more time separate from them. I think she's just pushing the boundaries a bit more, and she's getting to that age that she would naturally be pushed out from her family group. So she has still got a great bond with them, but we're looking forward to... Well, I'm going to miss her, but we're looking forward to her heading off and obviously having a boyfriend, obviously with you guys down at Monkey World, so.
Alison is delighted to see Neva in her home environment.
What a fabulous time she's been having with her father and her brother bouncing around the enclosure. I think enclosure-wise we'll be able to match that, and hopefully her adult hormones and maturing will mean that she's attracted to Desmond. I suspect that there'll be a lot of flirting from the minute she walks into the house. I think he'll start purring away at her.
While the Combe Martin team prepare Neva's travel crate, Alison takes time out for another mission. She's keen to take a look at one particular primate species housed at the park, which has never been rescued by Monkey World: Hamadryas baboons. Combe Martin has a bachelor group of 3 males who've lived at the centre for nearly 10 years. They were rescued by a Spanish organisation from appalling conditions in Europe.
Wow, look at Omar.
He's stunning, isn't he?
What a bottom. Woo.
Alison has good reason to take a close look at the baboons. Monkey World is planning to rehome 6 of their own very soon. The 3 males and 3 females are currently being looked after by an animal charity in Lebanon.
It would just be silly not to sort of check in with people who have been managing them for years. You always learn something just hearing about their characters, their interaction, how they deal with each other. And the baboons are very different. Yeah, new species for the park. Very basic, as Jeremy would call roughy-tufty monkeys. They're terrestrial, so ground-dwelling, and very expressive in their faces, their vocabulary, how they communicate with each other. Yeah, so all a voyage of discovery for us, and I suppose one of the first steps is here in Coombe Martin, seeing how they're getting on with their baboons.
Alison wants to view the baboons' living quarters.
3 bedrooms. We've added in a lot of ramps, but that's more just due to the fact as our boys have got older, they've struggled with some of the higher platforms.
Back in Dorset, work on the new baboon house at Monkey World is nearing completion, so any advice from Louisa is welcome.
Our boys don't like the rain. They will basically pull a face every time it rains. They'll bare their teeth, stick their tongue out, and they just go. If it's sunny, they're fine, but depending on the weather, they're very fair-weathered.
It could be some time before the 6 baboons from Lebanon make their way to Dorset. But now it's back to business, and one smaller female monkey is definitely moving there today. But first, Louisa has to entice Sarky Neva into her travel box.
Hi. Good girl.
Fingers crossed that the training has done the trick. It's just so much nicer for an animal to walk willingly into a box rather than to have to chase them or actually grab hold of them and put them in, so.
Time to find out.
Good girl. Well done, sweetie.
Job well done. Neva walks straight in and is soon safe and secure in the box.
Good girl. Do you miss her? Yeah, gonna miss her a load. She's a sweet pea, but doesn't mean we won't go to see her down at Monkey World.
Ooh, she's a bit of a chunk. What was her weight?
1.88.
Which way did you drop this bit?
Yeah, the mesh bit forward so I can see her.
Time for a few goodbyes before setting off.
I think we're
That's
all
gonna be
good.
good.
We've done papers, we've done everything
Yeah, you've got
else.
diets and obviously the pellet and that side of things. So yeah, I think it was everything.
Thank you.
It's so lovely to meet you.
No, you too. Honestly,
Hopefully
anytime.
she settles in really well.
Yeah.
It's a 2.5-hour journey back to the park in Dorset, where a new life and a new male partner are waiting for Neva. The majority of the primates at the park have been rescued, often from appalling conditions. Some, like the youngsters at the orangutan nursery, have been orphaned or rejected by their mothers and come to grow up amongst others of their own kind. Monkey World is primarily a rescue and rehabilitation centre, aiming to provide a home for animals in desperate need. With space at a premium, the park has a general policy of not breeding primates. However, one species has had such a dramatic decline in captivity over recent decades that the park does everything possible to support it: the woolly monkey, which is also endangered in the wild. Over the last 20 years, there have been 34 woolly births at Monkey World, but now the number has increased.
We had an unexpected arrival. We've named him Lloyd. So we've got a little boy and Mummy Zingu.
Zingu is a very experienced mum. This is her 6th infant and follows just 2 years after she gave birth to son Levi. The staff had her put on contraception to give her body a break, but the medication failed.
Little Levi's only just turned 2. He seemed quite surprised by Mum's new sort of addition, but he's actually dealt with it in a very mature manner. He's got his big brother Leroy, who's been in this position before, and yeah, it's quite nice to see those two kind of bonded over this experience. And Zingu lets them come and say hello, and doesn't serve. She's not too harsh in pushing them all away, so they're all able to come and just check out little brother and see what the situation is.
The team are almost certain Levar is the father. It's a familial group, including Zingu's eldest daughter Olivia and granddaughter Benita, and Leroy, another of Zingu's sons, who's now 4 years old.
We're so successful with our woolly monkeys because we have such successful family groups, and having a more natural kind of family dynamic that most of the primates here at the park haven't had, unfortunately. They're learning about how to interact with females and other youngsters within the group. So there's this group of 10. We've just got the perfect dynamic, really. Mature individuals that are hopefully teaching those youngsters some really important life skills.
Keeping more than 260 animals healthy and happy requires a huge amount of time, money, knowledge and understanding, and a whole lot of food. Every year the primates get through nearly 140,000 kilos of fruit and veg, not to mention the live insects and all the vitamins and supplements needed for their care. The wild counterparts of the park's larger primates consume greater amounts of fibre in their natural habitats. To make up for this shortfall, the primate care staff provide as much browse and greenery as possible, much of it harvested from around the park or donated by local farmers. And one group are already eyeing up today's offering.
I've got some apple browse to give to Tuan's orangutans today. It's really important to give them things like this, particularly in the winter months, because browsing for leaves and sort of vegetation is really important for orangutans' diet and sort of physical well-being. So some nice sort of apple branching is actually quite a nice treat for them.
Rachel has to be cautious about the size of the browse. Orangutans are clever at adapting things to use as tools, and can be very destructive if given the chance.
Some of the orangutans will actually eat this, not all of them. Some of them will use it as building materials. So I'm predicting that Arme is going to use this as a little bit of an embellishment for her latest den project. I think Tuan will probably just eat it all in one go.
With the group already outside, Rachel throws the browse into the enclosure from one of the high feeding platforms. And straight away, the orangutans get to work. Tuan immediately strips the bark off the browse and, as predicted, eats it. The layer underneath the bark contains sugar and water, something wild orangutans rely on when higher value foods aren't available. The big male does love his food, but devouring this lot will take time. Lucky also strips the bark off a branch, but she seems more interested in Tuan's technique. He's quite happy to have her nearby, but sharing his browse is a step too far. Since young Hujan left to join the nursery, there are now just 5 members in the group. But today, only 4 of them are outside enjoying the apple browse. That's because the uneasy truce between Roro and Lucky is over, and the two have fallen out once more.
We have had to temporarily split the group at Tuan's house. Tensions between Lucky and Roro were getting higher and higher, and unfortunately Lucky wasn't really allowing Roro to join in with any group activities, including having her dinner and her lunch. So at the moment the 2 girls are alternating their days out, and we've gone back to a sort of less than ideal situation while we try and work out the next step.
While Lucky stakes her claim close to Tuan, Awan heads off to find her own browse. Arme, however, true to form, is gathering up the branches rather than eating them. She has an important project in mind, her den. She's very particular about its location and has her favourite spot to watch the world go by. Today's build is quite an intriguing design.
I think Arme is trying very hard to saw through one branch with a smaller little twig, sort of using it in a sawing motion. She's using it in a very deliberate kind of way. So yeah, I think she knows what she's doing. I think Arme is a creative soul. She likes to build things, she likes to make things, so she has her own little out-of-the-way space. She can do her thing. She's not the biggest fan of hanging out with other orangutans, so it kind of kills two birds with one stone, really. She has freedom to do what she wants, it's not in anyone's way, and no one really pesters her because the others don't really care about her pile of twigs.
At the end of the day, the team will dismantle the den to make sure it doesn't damage the fence. But tomorrow, no doubt, Arme will be back with another new creative design. The park is home to a number of primates native to Southeast Asia, but none so puzzling as the small nocturnal Bengal slow loris. It's now 10 years since Alison flew to the Maldives to rescue Boo, Monkey World's first ever slow loris.
Hi, you.
Since then, there have been 9 other arrivals, including Bobby, who was born at the park. Dr. Marina Kenyon has been studying a similar species for many years in the wild and at Dao Tien, Monkey World's sister sanctuary in Vietnam. The centre there has had great success rescuing, rehabilitating, and releasing pygmy loris back into the wild. While in the UK, Marina continues to learn more about the Bengal loris, a unique and secretive species.
With all loris species, we're learning as we go along. There's very limited wild data, and in particular with the Bengal. They live different altitudes. There's a huge size range from 2.4 kilos to 1 kilo. They're living in quite different habitats. But in Vietnam in particular, we're finding the Bengal are hanging out more in the better parts of the forest, where the thicker trees are. So that's what we've tried to do here. We've made it much more like a section of primary forest. So we just have to watch now and let them show us what they need.
Today, 2 of the park's lorises are being given one of their favourite foods, live insects. Primate care staff member Ali is adding a challenging aspect to the treat by using insect feeders.
The loris have got very strong grips, so they'll be able to hopefully hang onto these just by pressing their palms against the wood. In terms of manipulating the insects out of the holes, that could be a bit more difficult. That's why we've got 2 different sizes of hole. So these ones are slightly larger, probably for slightly larger insects like crickets. Hopefully the insects will just come out of the hole and they can grab them. If the insects do come out and they aren't aware of them, we're going to put a small container like this underneath so that they can catch them, and then they'll forage through the shavings.
The 2 lucky recipients are female lorises Boo and Bobby. There was a 3rd member of their group, Bruce, who recently passed away after a short illness. But the 2 girls are coping and getting on well, despite not having a male in the house. Loris are a nocturnal species, sleeping during the day and travelling and eating at night. Their house at Monkey World is adapted so they think it's nighttime during the day, and vice versa. Red light is used to monitor them, as they can't see it. Loris aren't known for their speed, and today 5-year-old Bobby isn't even sure she wants to get out of bed. Boo, however, is taking an immediate interest in the feeders. In the wild, insects and gum from tree bark are Loris's main food sources, and their great sense of smell, amazing eyesight, and the ability to hang from tiny branches makes them expert nocturnal hunters. The insect feeders are certainly keeping Boo busy and active, but she can take her time enjoying the treat with no competition from Bobby, who's still snuggled up having a duvet day. Following a 2.5-hour journey from North Devon, Alison has arrived back at Monkey World with Saki monkey Neva, safe and secure in her travel box. She's hoping the 6-year-old female will be a new companion for Desmond, who lost his longtime mate some months ago.
She's not made a sound the whole way, so I think she's a little bit shy and like, why is this happening?
Neva's left her family behind, along with everything she's ever known. But hopefully her growing maturity will help her embrace this new life and, for the first time, a male partner. She's taken to the Saki monkey house where, unaware of the potentially life-changing moment, Desmond is busy eating. The 16-year-old male has been without companionship of his own kind since Chloe, his life partner and soulmate, passed away from old age. She was older than Desmond, but now he has the prospect of a younger woman in his life. Neva is 10 years his junior, but the team hope the pair will still take a fancy to each other.
Happy?
They won't meet face to face today. Instead, they'll be in adjacent bedrooms and able to see and hear each other in order to give Neva time to settle in.
Right, is everyone happy? We'll go for it. Yeah? Right. Hello, gorgeous.
Primate staff member Steph opens up the travel box . But Neva is rather reluctant to step out.
Come on, Des.
Perhaps it's the sight of Desmond, along with his housemate, common marmoset Loki.
Hey, Desmond.
Or the fact they share the house with a group of squirrel monkeys. Another sight Neva isn't accustomed to.
This is an awful lot for a young lady to take on board, leaving your family, moving to a new home, and then coming into a house both with squirrel monkeys and a slightly loopy marmoset in the mix.
Good boy.
Neva takes her time, until, finally, plucking up courage, emerging, and heading up high for safety.
She's out.
Good girl.
Who's that, Desi?
It's all a little confusing for the young Saki monkey. However, there is one familiar face. Primate care staff member Sharon spent a couple of days at Coombe Martin Wildlife Centre getting to know Neva.
I think we don't want to push it with these guys. We'll probably keep them separate tonight, and then when we come in tomorrow, they'll have sort of settled. Neva will be happier with her surroundings. Desmond will have got the testosterone displaying out of his system, and hopefully we'll be ready for an open up and an introduction. We've certainly seen a little bit of tongue flicking, some positive signs, so fingers crossed tomorrow we can open up and all will be well.
It's been a hectic day for young Saki Neva. But perhaps tomorrow everything will fall into place and she'll seize the opportunity to bond with Desmond and start her new life. Next time on Monkey Life. It's medical day for two of the park's primates, and for one, it's a rather delicate problem.
That's a fairly gnarly looking testicle.
And Saki monkey Desmond gets to grips with his potential new partner Neva.